All right, welcome everyone. We're going to start in just a minute. I'm very excited about today's show. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. You can put some things in the comments there if you would like, and we will have Donna pull it over and put it here where I can see it. So let's get ready. Here we go. And just a minute. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. All right, welcome everyone. Akasha here. Welcome to the Bliss Life Global Healing Series, Awaken Your Intuitive Gifts. We've been having a blast so far. I'm super excited today. A lovely, lovely lady has joined us that I found out about last year, and we chatted briefly, and I knew that she had some super big magic to share with you today. So if you are watching this on YouTube, if you have happened across this and you would like to get all the free gifts and find everything in one place and special offers and everything else, you want to go to nanakasha.com/blisslifeglobalhealing. There you're going to get reminders during the couple of weeks that we're doing these live, and you're going to also have access to these beautiful goodies and other things. So today we've got Waxéla Sananda, and we're going to discuss entering the golden realm of New Lemuria. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to stop my sharing. Hi. My computer said it was signed out. So let me just make sure that everything is okay. And we're so blessed, right, to have this amazing experience where we get to instantly communicate. I started doing healing work so long ago. People actually sent me a snail mail with a little piece of their hair in it and described their problem. And then I did healing work and I sent them back a letter, and nobody knew when it was happening. So it's quite amazing. Okay, good. Perfect. I just want to make sure that we've got everything here. All right. So find my way back again. Okay. So I want to just remind you that on my YouTube channel, we have all of these, and we have the previous 2 seasons of this global healing series. And we also have, I do live readings and all kinds of other goodies, live things every week. We also post a lot of videos. Today, I'm doing a call where I'm channeling message from Archangel Michael shortly after this call. And we're still letting people in from the waiting room. Fantastic. And if you get on to my YouTube channel and you click the notification bell, it will let you know when I'm live, and it will let you know when we add a new video. We frequently edit these. Like our big kickoff call was 3 hours or 3.5 hours. So we edited it so you can listen to the crystal bowl healings if you want. You can listen to the amazing experience and collective clearing and prayer of intention with Donnie Marie. You can listen to my guided process to help you awaken your intuition. So make sure you do that. And hi, this is me. And I've been doing this work for a very long time. I had a breakdown at the end of my 20s. My fashion design business closed, the economy collapsed, nobody paid me, and I got on my spiritual path. So as you all know, that's usually the drama, and the breakdown is usually the big thing. Also, today's starting is Angels of Abundance. So if you want to join us live with that, get that today at shop.nanakasha.com. And they're all going to be recorded, so it's not a problem if you can't come live. And it is on sale along with these other goodies here. Those are the specials on right now for a couple of more days. So let's get started. And let me share a little bit about wa-shay-la before she comes on. So we're going to talk about entering the golden realm of New Lemuria. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. She's going to share with you. If you do, then you know this is a very exciting time because we're waking up. This is called the Grand Awakening. This is the big breakdown, the big metamorphosis, right? And these ancient civilizations, I work a lot with Atlantis and a lot of the codes that are in the pyramids here where I live and in the waters. And so this ancient wisdom is rising again. This is waking up and it is becoming available to us. So this is very exciting. So Waxéla Sananda is an activator of spiritual gifts, an embodiment coach, and a galactic shaman, and an ascension trainer. She combines celestial starseed consciousness and shamanic training, and she holds space for clients to experience the embodiment of divine frequencies. She's a conscious channel activating the latent spiritual gifts and soul codes within her soul family. And she works in multiple dimensions. Yay. We're all multiple dimension. You know, we know we have a body. We know we have an emotion. We know we have mind. Believe me, there's so much more out there. It's a rich, rich universe. And hold space to move into higher states of awareness and to clear old blocks and patterns, which is exactly what we're doing right now, whether we like it or not. That's what this breakdown and transparency pattern is all about. And wa-shay-la says, my mission is to assist people in achieving a greater level of consciousness, heart activation, and inner peace in accordance with their highest good. And make sure you get your free gift. Again, if you're on the list, you'll get all that information, her website and her free gift and her special offer. And I'm going to just share, this is a quote that I asked my speakers to give us. She said, we are multidimensional beings with access to universal consciousness. When we learn to trust our intuition and connect to the field, we can unlock our abilities to receive communications from our ancestors, our guides, the cosmos, and beyond. Fantastic. So thank you so much. Let me see here if you're able to unmute. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Akasha. I'm so grateful to be here and share this space with you today. And for everyone listening, thank you for tuning in and being present with us. This is going to be fun.
Yes, we're going to have so much fun. So share a little bit about your journey, you know, and how you came to do this amazing work and came to open up to this. Because I know for me, I came from not a religious upbringing, so I didn't have to get over that, but very intellectual. Work hard, and that's all really. Just work hard, suffer, and pay your bills on time, right? That was what's going to make your life successful. And so when everything fell apart and I started to go, I literally was like you, I was like, okay, I need something as weird as possible, like as far away from the norm as possible, because I just had such distrust in what I saw around me. So how did your journey awaken?
Oh, yeah, it's always a good place to start. So I was raised in Midwestern Iowa in a Lutheran family and, pretty conservative part of the US. And I, from a very young age, had visitations by galactics. And not knowing, what that meant or what it was, I remember being a very young child and, they would visit me and it was unpleasant. I was not very happy about the situation. I was very reluctant to step into any of it. And they also left me with the words and the program that was a deep-seated program. Do not tell the adults, they won't understand. And so at some point, fast forward into 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm like, wow, I am the adult now. I'm one of the adults surrounded by adults. I think it's time to come out of the closet about all these things. And so I had done that incrementally throughout my life, but it was really, I guess, in my 30s where I decided, okay, I didn't decide. The guidance kind of pushed me. Time to be visible. Time to get out there. And so that's what I'm doing now. I found that the more I step into it, and the more I own the, like you said, the rich universe and the multidimensionality that I am and that we all are, the easier it becomes, to just be authentically who I am. I had a lot of layers to let go of, being raised the way I was, and with the beliefs that I had. It was scary, but that's the nutshell version of how I got here.
It is true, right? We have so many things, especially on this topic, when we talk about intuition, or what we're really talking about is our soul gifts and our talents and that multidimensional nature that we are. And almost everybody is extremely open, right? Initially. And I was told, oh, you're always in another world talking to imaginary friends and having butterfly ways and all this kinds of things. And it's cute for a while. And then people say, grow up and stop it, and all of that. And nobody, especially back then, had the clue of what was happening. And even now, people are waking up, young people are waking up, young teenagers and stuff, and they're very confused, and they're being put in mental health institutions, and all of these kind of crazy things. So so how did you get into, I also shaman, worked with many shamans as well. How did you get into some of this work?
Yeah, so I was being guided from a very young age. So I've always been prone to meditation, reflection, introspection, nature. Most of my training has been direct from divine guidance. And when I was in my 20s, my early 20s, I was living in Dallas, Texas, and I had a retail store. I've always been business oriented. And all of my friends kept telling me about this shaman that had come to town. At the same time, simultaneously, I kept getting message after message after message about Kauai, Hawaii, go to Kauai. So I was arranging my life to be gone for 3 months to go to Kauai, Hawaii, simultaneously with this unknown shaman visiting town, who sort of magically ended up I was in an apartment complex called Moon Mansion, and ended up at the neighbor's apartment. And they came over and got me and said, you've got to meet this guy. He reminds us of you when he talks. I think you'll really enjoy meeting him. So I had a long conversation with the shaman. And at the end of it, he said, I'm on a journey to Kauai, Hawaii, and I'd like you to come with me. I said, I'm in. And so, as it turns out, he was a walk-in spirit, and he was the walk-in of my twin flame. I haven't said this on video much, so I'm kind of newly stepping into sharing this, because my next book is about walk-ins. And that's something I'm going to be sharing a lot more of. So he was a temporary walk-in of my twin flame. And I was trained directly by him, and for a brief time by his mentor as well, who was also a walk-in into the body of a Lakota medicine woman in Prescott, Arizona. We spent a couple weeks on her land, and she was a strong influence even in that short time. There were a lot of starships and channeling, and I mean, even in my sleep, he would wake up and start channeling messages to me. And it was also a confusing time, because there was this other being. It was a walk-in braid, which means sort of the walk-ins there some of the time and not some of the time. And he was there very powerfully for about a year and a half. He was there for 3 years total, but less and less after that. Year and a half, 2 year period, and by 3 years he was gone, and I didn't understand that. But during that time, it was intensive training. Every minute of every day was channeling, was communicating with guidance, was communicating with light ships, starships. They would physically come. I saw many of them right up close and personal. And it was just a powerful, powerful time. We also had a lot of medicine people in Kauai while we were there, kahunas, native people, and shaman. I mean, there was just this like immersion in the work. So that was my most intense training period. And then the rest has been a little more gradual. And I did go through a 3-month period about 15 years ago, where every morning at 3:33, guidance would wake me up by cracking the floorboard next to my head, next to my bed, that only cracked when someone stepped on it. 3:33 a.m., crack would go the floorboard. I would wake up, eyes would be like, who's there? And shoot up. And then okay, time to meditate. And I would go to the front. I had a little pallet set up in front of my bed. So I'd crawl out of bed, go sit there for 3 hours, 3:33 a.m. for 3 months. And during those 3 months of 3-hour meditations in the morning, I was getting download. And my guidance was training me on this next phase. And then at the end of it, they said, now go share this, call yourself a psychic, which I was in Iowa at the time, like, call myself psychic. That's crazy. I don't want to say that, and then go share this information and do energy work. So there was that period of time where I was doing energy work. I was calling myself a psychic. I was doing all those things. They were just preparing me for, the next step and the next step. So that's the, major bulk of my training. And I love learning. So I'm always taking training. I'm always getting coaching. I have a voracious appetite for information. So I get it direct. And I also participate in learning all the time.
I love that too, because I think that that's important to remember. There isn't a time when we complete, right? When we like reach the goal line and we're done, like, oh, good, I'm done now. I know everything. And I know that through 35 years or so that I've been on this path, it does feel like, at least that's what I was taught, right? In life, our conditioning is work hard to reach that. I'm from Chicago, so I'm a Midwestern girl too, right? And there's really that hard work ethic there, that real practical Lutheran, I was the same way, right? Idea that don't be fanciful, just be good, and do this. And so that idea that you go through these things and that things line up, that you get called to Hawaii and then someone shows up. It's really important, especially now, for people to pay attention to the things that come along and to say yes for those things. And also the idea of what you said is like that being woken up. I remember going through phases like that. And I was, I had a channel that I was going to, and I was learning everything I could as well. I was in New Mexico and meeting all kinds of people. And I remember asking, like, why? First it was 2 a.m. all the time, woke up at 2 a.m. Then it was 3 a.m. Then it was 4 a.m. at different periods of time. And so it was like, well, each one's a different thing. It was like, this is a certain kind of training. This is a certain kind, and it might be different for you, but paying attention to that. And I know some people, my ex-husband for sure, right, get upset. I'm waking up every day. Instead, realize that this is information that's coming through. When you say yes, it's going to really shift your life and move forward. So let's talk about a couple of things before we dive into the golden age of Lemuria, because this is about awakening your intuitive gifts. And I'm sure if people are showing up here and in my reality, I sort of announce that I'm one of the woo-woo weirdos from far away with my pink hair. But many people are new to many aspects of it, or you may work with clients like I do who have certain things that they're really comfortable with and other things that are starting to awaken. So let's talk a little bit more about what a walk-in is so people understand that.
Yes. And while we're on the topic, I invite anyone who has walk-in stories to share with me. You can get a hold of, send them by email, because I will be including some stories in my book about walk-in experiences. If they're compelling and interesting and unique, then by all means, please do share. So there are many ways to experience a walk-in. And so the most, obvious walk-in is when a soul or spirit that owns a body is usually, well, we'll just say for these purposes, an adult. Let's say you're an adult and you have come to an impasse where you're ready to leave. However, your body's good and there's another spirit that you probably had a pre-incarnational agreement with. It's always deals, but if not, deal can be made on the spot too. But you make a deal with another spirit who wants to come in and experience life in a body, but doesn't want to go through all of that baby childhood stuff, right? And it's usually, not always, but usually a more evolved being that gets sort of granted permission to do this. I affectionately call my twin flame body snatcher, but there really are no body snatchers because he doesn't have his own, so he pops in and out of others. I've learned, through the years, but that's really just a joke. I mean, they don't just come and take your body without your permission. So this is when a being is going to cross over and it's like organ donation, except you're given the whole body. So the walk-in gets the memories. The walk-in, like as a walk-in, I've talked to walk-ins that have no idea they're walk-ins. Well, they have an inkling, or they wouldn't talk about it, but that they don't realize it because they took over the body, they took over the memories, but they're like, then, something really changed for me during this period of time where this intense thing happened and I was never the same. And my kids didn't quite recognize me and my partner, like all these things happened, but I don't quite understand what happened. I'm like, oh, that's a walk-in experience. Sometimes, not always, but in some cases. So it could be subtle like that, or it could be a full-on recollection of the spirit bringing in all of this higher knowledge and understanding of who they are and where they came from. That can actually be sometimes more difficult. So those are different types of full body walk-ins where the first spirit, the original owner of the body, goes and leaves the planet, leaves the physical, and a new one comes in. There's another, like a walk-in braid, is where it's temporary. A walk-in might come in for, well, it could be there are two different things here. A temporary walk-in is where they come in for a period of time and then leave. And there might be an agreement where the body's challenged and needs healing. Maybe the person would otherwise have lost their body. The body might have died. A walk-in can come in temporarily and heal the body and use the body. Or there can be a braid where this is usually a higher self walk-in, braids in to the personality that's there to help in their evolvement in some way. And so they're all, you can imagine, so many ways that these agreements can show up. There are always deals being made. The one thing that I do want to say is when a full walk-in situation happens, when the first personality leaves and the walk-in comes in and takes over for the rest of the physical life, the walk-in takes on unfinished contracts and business of the original owner. That's part of the deal so that they can finish out their contracts and their work and not sort of like lose ground in their evolution. So that is part of what happens. You don't just, you never just like lose your body to a walk-in, there are always deals being made. So I hope that helps unpack. Those are some of the ways that walk-ins can happen. Oh, also one more thing, like very temporary walk-ins can be a quick like use of the body, kind of like a momentary takeover where someone comes through and delivers a very important message that someone else needs to hear. This has happened to me so many times, where a walk-in comes into the body of the person, usually my male partner, will come in, take over momentarily. Hey, I have some information for you. Here you go. And then they're out. And oftentimes the personality that happens to has no idea. Sometimes they do, but usually not.
Yeah. I've had that experience with my ex-husband. I remember just looking at him. It was like, that is not you. What? who's saying this to me, and it was some incredibly like enlightened things, really profound things that came through. So, well, that's good, because I think that can sound kind of scary, like you jokingly said body snatchers, but we're so obsessed with control, and there's the whole idea of protecting yourself and not wanting to attract dark entities and all of that kind of conversation. So it's important to understand, like what Waxéla said, is that these are agreements, right? These are things that you've agreed that it's okay to have happen. So, yeah. All right. So tell us about the golden age of Lemuria that's reemerging, and how this is relevant for us right now.
Absolutely. And I also want to comment that you have Toth behind you back there.
Yes.
He's one of my guides, as a lot of the Egyptian guides are. And he's notorious for that, at least in my world, of popping in and giving messages through other people. He's a scribe, he likes to get the information through in whatever way. So he's one that does that on the regular.
That statue is actually from my first trip to Egypt, where we took 200 and some people. We had 4 hours, 2 days in a row by ourselves in the Great Pyramid. We had the most profound experiences. And he was where the first mystery school I went to came through him, and where my schools come through. So yeah, he's my daily guide. I kiss his head every morning.
Wonderful. I love that. Okay, so stepping into Lemuria and the new Lemurian portal. First of all, it's very closely related to Egypt and the Egyptian gods and goddesses. Many of them are really holding space for us to have this Lemurian portal open. It's being referred to as New Lemuria because it's obviously it's not the rising up of the old Lemuria. It's more of the same frequency that we're stepping back into after a long period of not having access to that frequency or dimension or realm of being. And so now it's opening back up, and my guidance has shared it as the new Lemuria, and activation of the portal of the new Lemuria is here. So there are a lot of directions I could go in sharing about that. I like to call it a state of the new earth. So it is like a realm, a state of the new earth. If you want to think about like dividing the new earth into states, but it is a state of being, not a state of boundaries. So the way that you get there is not by driving in a car or flying in an airplane. It is by a frequency match and an intention match to step in, and a level of spiritual ascension work that has you able to step into that realm and experience it, sometimes momentarily, but some people are living there now. So it just kind of depends on where you're at in your process. I was shared or shown this in Riviera Maya. I was there a couple months ago, and I was meditating with the sunrise. I am a sun gazer, so I love to go out in the morning sun and watch the sunrise. And I had been doing this, and it was just so beautiful, blissful, gorgeous morning. And I sat down after standing and being with the sun, and sat down, and the sun was still coming, into my eyes and onto my heart. And I just put my hands out, and my twin flame personality being showed up across from me. Excuse me, I have a frog here.
That's where I live. Well, I live on the other side of the Yucatan now, but I lived there for 3 years. Yeah.
So powerful.
Did all my retreats
it always calls me back. I love the Yucatan. A lot of my awakening experiences were in the Yucatan as well. I was a foreign exchange student in Merida.
That's where I live on the beach, but outside Merida.
Nice.
Yeah, such an amazing place.
Yes. So my twin flame showed up and put his hands up across from mine, and this golden realm opened up, and it was gorgeous. It was, so multidimensional and of a higher frequency. and I understood it to be the portal to New Lemuria. And I got to experience holding the portal with my twin flame, as well as stepping in and sort of looking around and projecting my consciousness into it so I could really see and feel the experience of what it was like to be there. And then I understood that one of my jobs now is to be sort of the voice of New Lemuria, to share this information with the world, so that anyone who feels it in their heart, it's not that I have, you know, special access or you have to go through me. It's that I'm a voice to let people know, okay, this is available. And all you need for access is to tune into your heart, feel it, and get into the state of being that is a frequency match. And I shouldn't say just, because that's not always like an immediate thing. That can be, you know, a lifetime of work for some people. It can be just a thought away for others, just depending where you are in your own journey. So I'm really a spokesperson for the state of New Lemuria, an ambassador, if you will.
I love that. That's so great. And remember, you guys, that one of my free gifts is the scale of consciousness. So as Waxéla is talking about states, if you're unclear about that, we might say a state or a dimension, but it is a state, is a frequency. So guilt is a state, and fear is a state, and acceptance is a state, and love is a state, and peace and bliss and enlightenment. And so the higher frequencies are empowering and expansive, and the lower ones, as we know, when you're in fear or craving or anger or something, are lower states, and they're restrictive, they're heavy. That's why she keeps saying, you know, if you raise your state or you align with the state, it's like getting the right cell phone number, right? Having the right connection to it. So what is your experience so far of this New Lemuria? What is the essence of it?
Yes, and I will answer that. And before I go there, you just said about the scale. The Anubis beings, you know, Anubis is the Egyptian god, the jackal-headed god that has the scale. You'll see him holding a scale, and with a heart on one side and a feather on the other. And the teaching is, if your heart is lighter than the feather, then you can cross into places like the New Lemuria or ascended consciousness realms. And what that means, not your physical heart. He's not going to like rip your heart out and weigh it. What that means is what you just said, Akasha. Have you lightened your load? Have you released your baggage? Have you let go of your guilt? Have you forgiven those who you've felt hurt by? Have you lightened your heart? Is your heart lighter than a feather? Because if it is, guess what? Then you get access to these higher dimensional realms like New Lemuria, like a multitude of realms that are available to us, as you know, and people especially put that together with the afterlife, but it doesn't have to be the after physical. It could be in physical as well, because it's all happening right now. So I thought that was relevant. I just wanted to include that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I did a retreat years ago where in California, but going through the chakra temples on the Nile for Ascension, and ending with that ceremony of weighing the heart with Mott and Thoth, and the idea, and they have this little monster looking god, right, that eats your heart if it's too heavy. And it seems like a fearful thing, but in the experience, it was so interesting, because they would like weigh my heart and then throw my heart into this guy. He'd eat it and then he'd spit it back. And it happened over and over and over, like he was actually helping to clear for me. And then it opened up to being lighter than a feather. So yeah, it's really profound.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And isn't that the way the world works? I mean, if you're carrying baggage, you're going to attract experiences that trigger that like make you feel that more, so that you're aware of it. It's not to torture you. It's so that you become aware, like, oh my gosh, I'm really triggered. I'm really in my upset. I've really got something to look at here. And then if you're of evolved consciousness and you choose to work with that, you have the opportunity then to release it, to let it go, to do some spiritual work, some introspective work, So this world is really like the demon, you know, like showing up so that we can confront it, not really to scare us, so that we can confront it and let go of those heavy burdens and move powerfully forward with a light heart. So yes, and this is part of what it takes in order to move into the state of New Lemuria. So what it's like there is, you know, and again, sometimes it's difficult to explain in words. So I'm going to do my best to put it into words. It is a place, a realm of high heart and high mind. And so in order to get access, you're not going to be able to enter into this realm if you're carrying heavy burdens. You are, and that's, you know, it's not that you're being judged, but your own energy is the judge of that, because whatever you're carrying shows up in your field. It is a realm of purity and understanding. I like to tell empaths, like so many of us are empaths, right? This place was made for empaths, because empaths were not made for the 3D world. It's just so harsh. But this is where there's a community heart. And in the community heart, everyone feels the community, and you can tune into the community heart and feel as somebody. Doesn't mean you'll never have a sad day, doesn't mean you'll never be challenged, but everyone will feel that in their own hearts. And because when one person is in pain, everyone else can feel it. Everyone, instead of avoiding you or chastising you or whatever happens in 3D, they come to support you, they come to love you, they come to assist you in your challenge and be of service and contribute. That's the community heart. And when one is uplifted, all are uplifted. It's very much community oriented, because we're connected in our higher mind and higher heart. That means our intentions are known. It's like wearing, you know, they say people wear their heart on their sleeve. We wear it all in our energy. And in order to be in that space, you're of a frequency that you can sense and perceive other people's energy, other people's heart, other people's awareness. So there's this level of like super high intuition, of telepathy. That doesn't mean we don't use words. We do, but there's telepathic communication going on. There's all the time here as well, but we're just more aware of it in that space than we are in the third dimensional realm. There is, you know, like I just see total balance of nature and humanity. Balance of, you know, really understanding, as our native ancestors do and did, that we must always treat the earth with respect. We must always be in harmony and not take more than we give, and not do things that cause imbalances that destroy our earth and our ocean. And, you know, because this is a different realm, it's a layer of the earth, but it's a different realm in that space. That is already so. The earth has been restored. It is restored. It is in perfect balance in that realm. In this realm, in the third dimension that most of us are in right now that are listening to this, we still get to correct those imbalances, and we're in process with all of that and the challenge of that. But in the New Lemurian realm, that is already restored, and the balance is delicate. It's harmonious, it's uplifting, it's supportive, just like the community heart. We're also tuned in to the heart of the earth, to the heart of Gaia. We're also tuned in to the heart of sun, of central sun, and we receive downloads. Everybody's sun gazing there. The realm is golden. It's like the sun, the 12th dimensional sun frequencies we're basking in all the time. So there is so much more light there, and not just sunlight, but more spiritual light there. And we also are receiving from that realm all the time if we choose to. If it's our intention here to experience that, to step into that portal, we ask. You can ask with your heart and ask with your intention, and you can for starters, get a glimpse and a feel and just a frequency experience of it. And then you know what you're shooting for. Then you know, okay, that's where I want to be to step in there. And here's where I am. And then you get to look at the gap. Okay, what's it going to take for me to go to where I am right now to this place where I really want to experience more of?
Well, and I like that because that's what we're all doing, you know. So even people like Waxéla and I and the other guests who've been doing this for a while or having these amazing experiences. You know, when I started this, I would go to things and everybody was like, "Oh, I had these great experiences," and I'd be like, nothing. You know, it took a while until that happened, but it's always unfolding. And so if you have that intention, if it's not a craving, right, that's a low state, right? If you're like, I have to have it, if I don't have it, right, then you're just constantly dragging yourself back down. Also, everybody's going to experience it differently, right? And it's an opportunity. If you have that, you put that out there, you're going to have support on so many realms, and your intuitive gifts are going to awaken because as you raise your vibration or your frequency and you enter these higher states and you maintain them longer, you have the ability to feel and sense more of these communications. So be open, right? Be accepting and willing to receive instead of analyzing with your head, right? And trying to work hard at it with the physical. This is like you said something earlier, like this isn't something that you can force, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm going to work 80 hours a week and make this happen. This is something that you surrender to, that you open to, and you release who you've been so you can have these new experiences. Uh, I know you have a fabulous process for us. So why don't you take us on a journey?
Absolutely. So with all this talk of New Lemuria, I think the appropriate place to take you is into the portal of New Lemuria. Why not just go there now and get a feeling experience, a frequency experience, maybe for some a visual experience. So I'm going to hold space and set up a container for us to step into the New Lemurian portal. And I just want to preface this with there's no right or wrong way to experience it. Some people might get a feeling, you know, feelings are wonderful. It's a state of being. Some people might get visuals. That's always fun. Some people might get, you know, hear it. It actually has a frequency that I can hear when I'm there. And I hear frequencies. That's one of the things, you know, you might get messages. So there's no right or wrong way. Don't have the idea that, oh, if I don't see it, it's not real. Or if I don't, you know, like whatever you experience, whatever way you experience it is perfect for you at this time. So that's just my preface before we go in, just to be with what is. And we're really going for a state of being. And in order to be in this frequency, there's a certain way of being. And you get to choose and decide and feel what that is for yourself. It's unique to every person. So for starters, just make sure your cell phone's off. You're in a place, we'll go in quickly, but into a kind of a deep space here. Make sure you're setting yourself up not to be disturbed. So be in a place where you won't be bothered if at all possible. And then begin by just closing your eyes and getting comfortable on your chair and comfortable in your body. And begin by breathing deeply into the belly. And on the inhale, expand your belly. And on the exhale, contract the belly, allowing yourself to breathe in relaxation. And on the exhale, releasing any tension, releasing anything in the way of you deepening in to presence in this moment. And as you're breathing, get in touch with your heart center and the light in your heart. There is a heart light within you. And feel the frequency, feel the feeling of that heart light. and allow it to expand out around your chest and out around your energy field, out around your body. And as this light is expanding around you, call in the golden light of Christ consciousness, the golden light of the new Lemurian space and realm to hold your frequency, to hold your energy, and to hold space for you as we step into this experience together. And now, bringing your awareness back to your heart center, tune in to the light above you that is the source of central sun. This is the heart of the central sun energy. The 12th dimensional rays are coming down now, entering into the top of your head and moving all the way to the base of your spine, and then down to the bottoms of your feet, and spreading out into your bloodstream, into your cells, and into your DNA, expanding the light within you, expanding the light within all parts of you, physically, energetically, and mentally. And then breathe that light into your heart center, joining with the light in your heart. And now tune your awareness into the center of the earth, the center of the heart of Mother Gaia. And now allow that heart energy of the earth to come up through roots, carrying liquid crystal plasmic creative energy all the way up through the roots into the bottom of your feet, and up to the base of your spine, and all the way up the spine to the top of the head, bringing this creative energy, this liquid crystal plasmic creation energy into the body, into the bloodstream, the cells, into the DNA, activating your beingness with light, activating with creation energy, and feeling that balancing you, supporting you. And now bring this creative energy of the earth into your heart center to join with the light from above and the sun, to join with your heart center. And now breathing in to this heart light, you have a trinity of light, the divine masculine, divine feminine, and divine child within, creating a Stargate portal. And as this portal opens up, you can see it as a golden, might look like a tube of energy. It might look like kind of like a wormhole. It might look like a golden gate. Whatever it is, however it shows up for you, it might be a doorway. Just notice it and step to the front of the gate, the portal, the Stargate. And with your intention, this is where you get to choose. Would you like to visit, go through this gate to, this is the portal to New Lemuria. And if you choose this with your heart, your high heart and your high mind and your intention, make it known now. Yes, I choose to experience the golden realm of New Lemuria, and I ask to be granted access in this moment. And with that intention, and with your desire and the opening of the gate, feel the gate, the portal open and invite you in. This is open to you. You get to move and into this golden light. So take a step into the portal, through the doorway, through the golden gates, however it's showing up for you. Step in with your heart, with an open heart and an open mind. And now feel yourself traveling in this golden light, taking the journey in frequency, taking the journey in being into into your higher ascended self, the part of you that's already there. This is the you that is in the golden realm of New Lemuria. Your arms are wide open because your higher self is beckoning you to come and experience and play in this space. And now feel yourself arriving to your higher self. And you'll find that in this space, as you're landing in a golden room, a beautiful golden room. And around the golden light in this space are your ascension guides. There may be one, there may be many. Your guides that are here to show you, assist you, and hold this frequency open for you so you can step in with your heart, with your consciousness, and feel this space. And so now, as you're landing in this space, I invite you to take a deep breath, breathing in the frequency of light, breathing in and acclimating to this golden space, allowing yourself to settle, allowing yourself to feel, and noticing what's around you. If images are coming to you in your mind, maybe it's a color, perhaps pattern. This is also a realm of sacred geometry. You may be seeing sacred geometries around you. Just notice what you're noticing. You may be feeling the frequency. This is a high state, a high frequency place, and you are welcomed here. And now I invite you to open your heart to feel and experience the love of your higher self who's present here. And the state of being, your higher self knows exactly the state of being required to be present in this space, the state of your heart, the state of lightness, lighter than a feather, unburdened, free. So just go ahead and allow your higher self to invite you into this feeling space. I see it as golden stardust, like fairy dust or sprinkling of starlight into your auric field, lightening you the way that Tinkerbell does with her magic wand when she waves it over someone and they can fly. This is your opportunity to feel so light that you can fly and just be in this space of golden deliciousness, breathing in the frequency, breathing in the stardust and the light. And now there are guides around you, and one steps up. This is your ascension guide for the new Lemurian portal. And this guide has a gift for you. And I invite you now to tune into your heart and open your heart in gratitude to this guide for supporting you in this space, in this journey. And if you feel ready, and when you feel ready, see that your guide is extending his or her hands to you, and in her hands, his hands, is something that is a very unique and special tool or gift for you. And when you're ready to receive this gift, go ahead and reach out and take it. And you might place it to your heart. You might admire it, whatever it is. Maybe you're not sure what it is, but you're just going to place it in your heart, knowing that this is a tool for you to use whenever you want to come back and experience this frequency. And within this space is a template, a grid work for you. Your ascended self exists here already, and you can try it on like trying on a suit or a dress. You can try it on whenever you want to come here. This is the ascended frequency, and this gift that you're holding holds access, holds the codes, and is the key for you to enter into this realm at any time when you feel balanced and aligned and ready to go. And so receive this gift in gratitude, getting really present to the love and gratitude that your guide has for you. And see all around you the guides that are assisting you in this, how excited they are for you, how grateful they are that you're here, that you're present. And thank them in whatever way you choose to, and bringing your awareness now back to your heart, back to your presence of being. And now, as we complete with this moment in time in this beautiful space, we're going to step back toward that portal to the golden gate or doorway or Stargate portal that we began in. And so take a step now toward that doorway or gate. And we're going to intentionally come back to this space and time where we began our journey. So stepping into the portal now, stepping in and coming back to that gate, bringing your awareness, your consciousness, bringing the higher frequency that you just experienced, bringing the gift with you, and bringing all of the downloads, codes, and messages that were given to you while in this space to enhance your state of being right now in your present life, bringing that all with you through the gate, coming back through into that triangle portal of the heart where we began, coming into your own heart now, settling your consciousness back into your physical body, into your heart, getting centered, balanced, and aligned in these new frequencies. Getting present to gratitude, getting present to your physical body, anchoring your new awareness into the base of your spine with divine light. I see a star holding space and holding this frequency at the base of your spine, allowing that to anchor into the physical, upgrading the physical to the highest place that is appropriate for you. And now breathing awareness into your feet, into your toes and ankles as you're coming back to presence, breathing your awareness up your legs, feeling more energized, activated, more light, more happy, and more joyful heart as you bring that awareness up to your hips and thighs, moving around your midsection, your chest, your arms, wiggling your fingers, all the way to the top of your head, fully present, fully activated, fully energized. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And as you're coming back, I just invite you to be in the energy, feel it. Maybe you want to write down, journal something that you experienced, have a drink of water, and just notice what you're feeling and feel what you're feeling and be present to what you're feeling.
Beautiful. I know people usually take a little bit of time to get back in when I do these things as well. If you want to share in the chat in YouTube or here, we would love to hear from you. I had a beautiful experience. It was surprising, not really, but sort of, always like not sure what. Em said, thank you. It was beautiful. When we entered the space, what appeared was an enormous, I would say it looked like an Egyptian temple, all gold. And you know how a lot of the statues are huge and the doorways are huge. And it was even bigger than any of the ones I saw there. And it was an enormous Anubis holding the different kinds of staffs, that they have for different light and different life force. And instead of me becoming big or whatever, this feather dropped down that I received in my left hand. And then I started to float. I was still tiny, but I was floating up and came to the level sort of the heads of these enormous. The other one I think was Bast. It's a cat goddess. woman on the other side. And at the end, the gift was, there was other things that happened, but was a gold orb in my right hand. And so when I came back, I had the feather and the orb and different. It's almost like when you're looking at a screen and you see numbers or things scrolling past. It was like the orb was full of codes, probably the best way to describe it. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Those are like time release capsules that you can, when you put that orb in your heart, it just releases the codes as you're ready, the downloads as you're ready. So we're not overwhelmed by, one big boom, yeah, beautiful. What a beautiful experience. And something to mention there that I've seen is that Egyptian, when we think of the Egyptian temples, the Egyptian pyramids, we think of them as relics of the past. We can also think of them as a blueprint of the future, like a space holder of future Egypt, which exists now, which is an ascended version. It's not so much physical, and it is very much a part of the new Lemurian energy. And all of those gods, and Anubis is an ascension god, all of those, many of the Egyptian gods and goddesses are present there, very present.
Yeah. Em also said she also received the same orb. Interesting. Ellen said, I'm blessed, wa-shay-la.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Wonderful. So is there anything that you want to share for people who are still processing or aren't sure what they received, or even those of us who saw or felt what we received, that suggestions for people to process this and integrate it?
Absolutely. So first of all, just know that whatever you received, it's perfect. And sometimes these things unfold over time. So the more attention that you give to it, the more it sort of unpacks consciously for you. I recommend journaling, drinking some water. And if you received a tool, then you get to learn how to play with that tool, how to use that tool. I was seeing people receiving staffs, like, you mentioned that too. I was seeing the gifts being distributed, which was kind of fun. I was seeing golden rings. I was seeing golden keys. I was seeing geometric configurations, which are like frequency downloads, which contain a lot of information. So if you were seeing geometries, that itself is a gift. I was seeing all different types of gemstones and crystal type gifts, and even thrones or seats, like a special place to sit where you receive downloads. So there are numerous things being offered. So whatever it is, know that whatever you received is perfect for you. And the more that you sit with it and be with it, journal about it, meditate on it, the more it will unfold for you. And like those golden orbs, those are packed with information. Just put it in your heart, be present, feel it, and let it unfold, unpack, and inform you. It is encoded information for you from your divine self. So have fun, play with it, see what happens. If you started to get visuals, go there in your meditation, visit it again, ask for more, find out what else might be present for you, play with the guides you met there, ask for a deepening of the experience, put yourself in that frequency, try on the being experience that you got to be with your higher self in that space, try on the golden light, play, have fun, be curious, and keep going, keep practicing, let it unfold for you.
Wonderful. So I know besides the free gift, you have a special offer. I do have it on a slide. Do you want me to put it up, or do you want to just talk about it?
Sure.
Okay,
Yes. Then I don't have to go get my slide.
Yeah. Here we go. I like doing this in this way. I don't have to remember all this.
Yes.
Stuff, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, so this is the Ascension Activation Series. I'm offering it at a special price for your audience. And so it's over 5 hours of basically ascension classes and meditations and activations. And so in session 1, it's split into 3 different classes. We go into an activation meditation. This is where we do a lot of the things that I just took you through in a slightly different way. I talk about the high heart and high mind a lot, communing with the golden crystal and light, receiving DNA upgrades. This is activating to your highest version of yourself, preparing you for, stepping into these portals and just for expanding your frequency in this life at this time. Session 2, it's about clearing. I get into some of definitely the shadow aspects. Like we talked about the demons that show up in order to help you release those things that are weighing you down. And then in the physical realm, clearing the clutter in your physical environment, as well as your mind and your body. Clearing lack consciousness and limiting beliefs, clearing filters, and just really expanding your connection to the divine in the higher dimensional realms. And then in this 3rd session, it's moving forward to the new earth frequencies. Now, I don't talk about new Lemuria because that's pretty new information, but it's the same idea with the new earth, the 5D and higher frequencies and experiences, and how to bring that into your present, into your now, and really step into the portal of the new earth.
Wonderful. So that's on your page, along the link to get that, along with the free gift and the replay of this, because you probably are going to want to redo that beautiful process again. Well, this has been so much fun. All of these, I could just stay for like 3 or 4 hours and bask in all of the goodies and talk. And, we have so much in common, and we speak the same language, which is always a joy to meet people like that. But as we are going to close, what would you like to close with? Anything you want to share?
I love to close with gratitude. Thank you, Akasha, for holding space for, this beautiful portal for people to experience. Thank you to everyone who showed up now and on the replays for doing this work, for desiring to have an ascended experience, for doing the ascension work, for stepping into the new earth frequencies and the community heart. I just thank you all for your hearts, for your tenacity on your spiritual path, and for your receiving, because in the receiving of these upgraded frequencies, you become naturally generous and share them with everyone you come in contact with. And I thank you all for your presence.
Absolutely. So let's take a second. Em said, thank you for this portal and beautiful experience to grow. And so let's take a second and just breathe this in. Breathe in this opening. Breathe in this beautiful moment in space. That we create real things in the ethers with every experience and thought. So our combined experiences, this beautiful opening that wa-shay-la has given us and guided us to, and fill yourself with gratitude. Just feel that. I feel gratitude like a spiral, flow, blessings coming down, detaching from things. So breathe it in, and you deserve to receive. You deserve to receive that gratitude, because I know I'm grateful for you. Waxéla is grateful for you. And we're all in this together. We're one heart and one mind that come in these diverse forms, and we have an opportunity to come together like this. It's such a blessing. So breathe that gratitude in. Thank your body, thank your mind, thank your emotions, thank your journey, thank all of you, all the many dimensions of you and your guides. Let's send some gratitude out to that new Lemuria, the portal, any of the gifts or guides that you got. And let's give great thanks to this sacred space as we've come together, and to this beautiful golden light, this gold 12th ray of creation that holds so much information, that shines on us just the way that plants do, that gives us this opportunity to transform it into more life and more growth. Wonderful. Thank you so much, sweetie. It was such a pleasure and such an honor to have you here.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So let's go ahead and give great thanks for this moment to all of this space, and let this circle be open yet unbroken. And this beautiful golden light, this awakening, go with us with every step and every breath, every touch and every look, every thought. Take this with you throughout your day. Feel like you're spreading that golden light with your feet as you take a step, with your touch as you touch your food or you touch your beloveds or even your computer. And great. So join me tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got Dr. Rita Louise, and she's going to talk about the mysteries of psychic experiences unveiled. And it will be live again at the same time, 10 Central tomorrow. You can watch on YouTube or over here. And I believe she's going to take questions and do little mini readings. So make sure you come live if you can. And I love that Waxéla mentioned psychic, somebody telling her, accept that you're psychic, when you're like, and that's still a word that I find is very charged with a lot of judgment and fear. And I rarely say I'm psychic, although we're all psychic. And so this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to actually say it and own it and look at it, because this is the moment that the psychicness, these telepathy, this perceptions are opening, even for what I call muggles, right? People who aren't consciously on their path, aren't consciously seeking or understanding. And we don't, we have guides come into our lives. We have experiences. They feel like breakdowns. They feel like tragedies. Sometimes they're very painful. I had a daughter who died. I wouldn't say, let's go do that again. And yet she was the one that told me, look for the opportunity, look for the diamond inside of every single thing happening in your life. So I want to say, look for that golden light, look for that portal, look for that opportunity that is here, that they are here and they are ready to expand for you. I hope you'll come back in, in 50 minutes live. I'm going to be doing on YouTube live. Joyful Nan is my station, and we're going to be channeling a message from Archangel Michael. And this afternoon, we're going to be starting the Angels of Abundance. So in the Angels of Abundance, this is tapping into energies that are just for you. Unique angelic realms. So we're going to enter the angelic realms. We're going to feel this temple that's being built just for us to go into. And we're going to access new ways to open yourself, perceive more, receive more, communicate more. And we're going to be dealing today in the class, we're going to be meeting and deepening our relationship with what we call typically our guardian angel. And then throughout the class, we're going to be tuning into angels of prosperity, purpose, wealth, finance, joy, and happiness, and a healing with the angels. So everything I do is recorded. Everything is available for you to repeat. It is designed because repetition is very, very important. When you can repeat a process like what Shayla did today, when you can repeat a meditation or an awakening, you'll have a different experience and you'll go from where you went to the next level. All right, everyone, thank you so much and have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.